You would not believe the geezers I'm cooking for tonight. These guys are tough. They play for my favourite rugby team, the Wasps. And you know what? They're coming round tonight for dinner. 4 of them. The thing is, right, these boys use up so much energy. They're running about, knocking each other all over the place. So what I'm going to do is give them real flavour sensation. I'm going to give them real power food. And, yeah, I think they're going to love it. Lucky boys.
How are you?
How are you? Nice to see you.
Not bad.
Oh, right, I've got these big strapping lads coming around.
Yep.
Got some England rugby players.
Whole chickens?
Yeah. Nice big organic sort of...
Right, we've got organic. I've got the pulpuruk. I've got the Soil Association ones.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, is that being fed on something different, like corn or something? Or is that
These are, that's corn. That's corn fed with maize.
It's amazing how it colours the skin, isn't it?
Yeah, that's marigold seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marigold seeds, and then I've also got the Kellys. They're also organic as well.
Lovely. Well, they're nice birds, aren't they?
All good birds. Brilliant.
Well, that one looks nice and plump. I reckon I'll get just enough meat on that one. Yeah, I'll go for one of those, please, me old mate. It's very kind.
On the scale.
Lovely. Thanks, mate. See you next time. Bye-bye,
Bye.
Hello, Joe.
Hey, James.
You all right, mate?
Very well, yourself?
Yeah, really good. I'm after a few things. A nice panettone. I know it's the wrong time of year.
Well, we've still got a few left. What do you want? Just one of the... What do you want, a kilo? Half a kilo?
Yeah, just a nice big one.
OK.
I'm gonna make a little dessert out of it. How much is that, mate?
$15.05.
Lovely.
Lovely.
Cheers, boss.
Thank you.
See you, mate.
See you, James. Nice one, mate.
What I'm after...
Yes.
Oh, look at those lovely little tangerines. What I'm after is some parmesan.
OK.
But I'm tempted to buy everything else as well. You know what? I could live here. Can I bring a tent in?
Yes, absolutely.
I'll do the washing
I'd love
up.
to see you in the tent every morning.
Right, what is this called?
That's a Gouda, but it's a 4-year-old Gouda. It's very good first thing in the morning because it wakes up your taste buds, gives you energy.
I've never tasted it. It tastes like cheese, but it tastes like ginger beer meets kind of dessert.
Fruit, yeah, everything, yeah. Have you tasted our new parmesan? It's a low number, 600. That means it's very close to the original zone.
What does 600 mean?
Well, that's the producer, and it's very fruity. Isn't it lovely? August 1999.
Really good.
It's nice, isn't it? There you go.
Oh, fantastic.
How much would you like?
Give us that block. I can cut it down to size.
OK.
When I get home, that'll be lovely. That'll last me a week.
There, enjoy it.
Lovely.
Have fun.
You.
Nice to see you.
Take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Right, the boys are coming from a really big match today, and I know they're going to need a good feeding. So I'm kind of guessing that they have to eat chicken quite a lot. So what I thought I'd do is a nice little twist, a really, really cool Italian dish, yeah? And it's basically called chicken cooked in milk. Sounds horrible, but in Italian it sounds nice. Here we go. So I've got a nice little chicken here, little organic job. And what I want to do is just get it seasoned, get some flavour in there. I've got some sage, pretty important herb on this one. Right, so what you want to do is just rip off all the sage from the stalk, but we'll keep these stalks because they still taste good. So I want a couple of lemons. And the whole idea of this is basically that we're going to use the zest to kind of split the milk, right? Which sounds a bit odd, but I'll show you later. We're going to get the skin just with a vegetable peeler. Just take the lovely yellow skin off. And normally we just sort of like squeeze the juice out of lemons and use it for dressings and stuff like that, which is fine. But we always throw away the skin, which actually is really, really tasty. And as long as you don't get the white stuff, which is this, which is obviously bitter, all right, you're laughing. So if you use that in stir fries or like rice dishes or even like roasting a chicken, like the skin is really, really tasty. So skin comes off, and I don't want to waste this lemon here, so I'm going to sort of slice it up, and I'll keep this for later. I'm going to stuff it into this chicken, right? So push it in there, and obviously when this cooks, we're going to kind of pot roast it, yeah? But when it cooks, it's going to kind of steam from the inside, which is obviously going to flavour the chicken and make it nice. So instead of like letting the lemon sit around and go dry and horrible, we use it in here and it'll make it really tasty. So, and these stalks here, which you can't eat, but will taste nice. Right, so just shove the sage in there. Now, the whole idea here is that we want to give it a good seasoning. So a little bit of olive oil, a good pinch of salt, a good pinch of pepper, and just rub it in, right? And at least you know it's going to taste nice then. So in like a kind of casserole pot, or you could do it in a roasting tray if you want, or, you know, just anything that's big enough to fit the chicken. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil, just to kind of get the fat going, and I need some butter. Now, it's a bit odd, this, but it's a kind of pretty much a classic recipe, and you don't really want to mess with it. I've got half a pack of butter here, and what I'm going to do is cook the chicken in this, and then obviously the butter goes brown, and then it will be horrible. So we pour away the butter, and it's just to sort of get the flavour in there, really. Then we use a little bit of fresh stuff again. Sounds a bit weird, but that's how they do it. So pop your chicken in here. Right, you want to get some nice colour on it. Have a look at that. Beautiful. Now, as soon as you've got that sort of colour, you're laughing, yeah? So, and if you look at the butter now, it's almost gone brown, which you don't want. That's going to be a little bit sort of, it will taste a bit funny. So we're going to just get rid of it, because really the butter's done its work now, and that's just sort of get that lovely colour on it and give it a bit of flavour. So pour that out, and put it back on the hob, and all I'm going to do is add a little bit more butter. Right, what you want to do is add your 6 peeled cloves of garlic. You can put them in whole. And then you get your lemon zest and put them around the pan as well. And a nice big bunch of sage. Now, the whole idea of this is, apart from like butter, lemon and sage being a wicked combo, whether you're putting it with chicken or pork chops or anything like that, the whole idea really is that the lemon zest is going to split the milk that we're going to put in now. And I'm going to add about a pint. And the whole idea is like milk, chicken, lemon, butter, sage, they all go really, really well together. Very, very fragrant. But when that milk comes to a boil and the sort of acidity starts coming out of like the lemon zest, it's actually going to split the milk, which gives you these beautiful little clods of sort of like ricotta, which is really, really nice, and makes a beautiful little gravy. Right, so you want to bring this to the boil, and you want 1/2 stick of cinnamon. Just plop that in. I'm going to turn it down, and you could put a lid on top if you want. I'm just going to I'll show you a little trick. Just going to get some greaseproof. Run it under some water so it goes kind of soft like this, and just plonk it on top and sort of tuck it in a bit. Now, what's good about that is it will bake and roast, and the chicken will get lots of colour, but at the same time it won't let all the milk sort of evaporate and leave you with a dry sort of pot. So pop this in an oven at about 190 for about 1.5 hours, and I'll tell you what, the meat will just fall off the bone. You'll have a beautiful bit of gravy, and it'll be something they've never tried before. So what I would do is serve it with some greens or mashed potato, but if you're in Italy, we'd have polenta, which is fantastic. Right guys, to make this polenta, it's dead simple. Get yourself a pan, nice high-sided pan, and you want to bring about 1 litre of water to the boil. Add about 250 grams of polenta and give it a right good whisk. Now, this needs to cook nice and slowly, and you want to kind of cook it like porridge. So it's going to take about 15 to 20 minutes, and it's going to go really, really thick. It might need a little extra water just to make it into kind of porridgey consistency. Right now, this is where everyone always goes wrong. You need to flavour it, so you need about 125 grams of butter. Just chop it up and get it in there, and about 2 handfuls of nice grated parmesan. Get it in there and give it a really good stir and whisk and make it nice and fluffy and pale. Now, it's really important to season to taste. It's nearly done now, so all you need to do is just whisk it up, and you want it to go really sort of light and fluffy, and when you taste it again, it's going to be nice and moorish. It's ready to serve now, so give it a bash. Right, for dessert, what I'm going to do is a fantastic twist on bread and butter pudding, yeah? And right, at Christmas time, the Italians have panettone pudding, which is fantastic. It's like a kind of glorified like brioche, really. And it's really festive. But now it's not Christmas. I'll tell you what, they're cheap as old chips, and you can get them everywhere, and they're fantastic for making bread and butter puddings out of. So this is what they look like. Just peel it off. With a normal bread and butter pudding, you want sort of like centimetre slices, yeah? Here we go. These are the boys. I hope they won, otherwise they'd be grumpy. Hello?
Right, Jamie.
Come in, mate. All right, boys.
Hello, mate. How you doing? All right.
Yeah, how's it going? Nice. Yeah, did you win?
Yeah, we won.
Make yourself at home. Do you want a drink?
Yeah,
Beer,
I'll have a beer.
soft, cold,
I'll
hot.
have a beer, mate. No worries.
I hope you're hungry.
Very hungry.
What have you got for us today?
Well, I'll tell you what, I've got a nice bit of chicken, which is nearly ready now.
Beautiful.
I've got a nice, I'm doing bread and butter pudding, but sort of Italian style.
Perfect.
Great stuff.
So, where's the other two?
They're on the way, still in the showers.
Oh, right, okay.
They got very dirty.
Well, that's what you call it. So what I'm going to do, guys, I just need to butter some of this. This is like, have you heard of this panettone stuff before?
No, mate.
Italian, isn't it?
Yeah,
awesome.
it's like Christmas cake in Italy, but it's really nice. You just need to butter it a bit for the dessert. So, what's new then, guys?
Mate, we won in the last minute. It was awesome.
Yeah, how you doing in the league?
Not too bad. Getting there. We had a tough start, but won a few games in the last few weeks, and it just.
Any England matches coming up?
There's one next week, but not for me, unfortunately.
A couple of boys are involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it very competitive getting in the big team?
Yeah, very at the moment.
Yeah.
Very. They're playing really well, so.
They're the best in the world at the moment. So.
What, the English boys?
Yeah.
Yeah, ranked number 1.
Too right. Well, you know.
Do you do much sport at school?
Well, no, I used to play a bit of rugby,
Yeah.
and that was a really bad story. Don't go there.
I wanna hear
You're
it.
really talented.
No, my one moment I did an American throw.
Oh, right.
And
Forward?
the whole pitch just fell asleep, fell asleep and
Fell about laughing,
It was
yeah.
quite embarrassing, actually. But a little bit of football, but I was a javelin man myself.
Oh, right.
Got the build.
Yeah, well, But, so what I'm going to do, right, let me show you how to do this, because this is dead simple. I don't know what your marital situation is, but I just thought, like, every big boy has got to have a few desserts up his sleeve, yeah? So I thought if you could just check this one out. I've really simplified the old English sort of bread and butter recipe, yeah? So you want a little bit of butter around the dish. Just give it a little rub, like that, so it kind of doesn't stick. Some of the old recipes for bread and butter pudding, you have to cook off the milk and like just cook the custard off a bit. It's a bit of a palaver, actually. So what I'm going to do is get a bowl, and it's pretty simple to remember. All you want is 4 eggs, nice big large ones. You want about a pint of milk and a pint of cream. So get that in there. 4 eggs, 1 pint of milk, 1 pint of cream. Now, admittedly, this is not like this is quite hearty food.
I will burn that off, don't worry.
But what I'm thinking is that you do enough exercise, so you burn it off. And
Won the game, we can treat ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a moment of pleasure, so you've got to have it, haven't you? Now, in there, what we're going to put is 170 grams of sugar. Here we go. Go on, my son. Straight in there. And have you ever seen vanilla pods before?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're wicked. Just have a look at these. These come from Peru. Sniff them. In the olden days, the Victorians, women used
Delicious,
to rub it all over them for like perfume. Yeah, seriously.
Really?
Yeah. I tried it the other week. It didn't do nothing. It's not good. Right. So what you want to do is just run your knife down the length of the vanilla pod, and then just scrape out all those lovely. It's weird. It's like sort of miniature sort of frog spawn, right? And you just want to. That's a good bit. Keep that. Put that in with your sugar, and you have some fantastic vanilla sugar. And then here we go. Do you boys do much cooking?
Yeah, now and again.
Occasionally.
Yeah.
I'll make a good curry.
Like a steaks, don't we?
Yeah, I do like steaks.
Yeah. So sort of power food.
lot of veg.
Yeah.
Veggies and your fruit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fruit, lots of fruit.
Good boys. So you want just a little bit of orange zest, 1 orange zest, and that makes all the difference. Makes it really, really tasty. And I'm completely confident that you boys are going to love this, actually.
Can't wait.
And we don't need the juice, just the zest. So give it a bang. There you go. Just that will be fantastic, yeah? Right, just give it a whirl. Oh, I tell you what. My chicken will be ready now. Go on, my son. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, baby. Have a look at this, boys. That is dinner.
No, it's still.
So, like, you see what's happened? See all those little white bits around there?
Yeah.
That's almost like cheese, because the lemon zest has split the milk, yeah? And then you've got crispy little bit of chicken.
Beautiful.
How long's that been in the oven for then?
Hour and a half, about 190. And that'll just fall off the bone now, so that'll be good. So dinner's ready. I've turned the oven down to 160, and I'm gonna whisk this up. And that's the whole thing. All you've got to do is bung it all in here, right? What is it? 4 eggs, pint of milk, pint of cream, 2 vanilla pods, 1 orange zest, and 170 grams of sugar, right? So your custard's done, and that's basically what it is, a custard. And then we're just gonna get our bread, dip it in here, and literally just, any way you like, just whop it in there. You could use normal bread.
You can buy that bread anywhere then, that?
I tell you what, you can get panettone everywhere now. Pour a little bit of the old custard in here.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, I'm not sure if... I'm not going to get a phone call from your manager, am I, tomorrow? No. Saying like my boys...
Mate, as I've said, we won, so we can get anything.
Let's have a little bit more of this custard. You've got to try and... Because I tell you what, the thing is, this bread will suck up all that lovely custard. And you've got to pour it in slowly, bit by bit, and that way it won't be dry. It'll be lovely. Go on, my son. Lovely, right. So we got that. All I do, right, this is like a little tip, yeah? And I think it makes all the difference. If you just sprinkle a bit of icing sugar on the top of the panettone, when that cooks, it goes really crisp, really fantastic. And I think that just sort of finishes it off a treat. So just shake a little bit over like that. Beautiful. There you go. Nice little Weight Watchers dessert. Whack it in the oven. Lovely. Now what I'm going to do is cook that at about 160 for about half an hour, 40 minutes until it's nice and little wobbly in the middle. And you boys are going to like that. Yeah. Do you want to get that meal, mate? I think that's your boys.
They're at the shower, are they?
Yeah, still got wet hair.
You boys out the shower?
Yeah, all right, Jamie, we're here now.
Do you lot get points if you're late?
Yeah, we get
For
fined.
training?
We get fined.
Do you?
Yeah.
Ah, mate.
Hello, mate.
How you doing?
Hello, mate.
You all right?
Yeah, good.
How you doing, mate? Hope you're hungry.
It looks delicious, lads.
We're ready to get going.
Chicken, bread and butter pudding. Whole thing.
Help yourself to some beers.
Cheers for it.
Right, shall we eat soon?
Love to.
Did you say you eat lots of spinach?
Yeah, I love it, mate.
How do you normally cook it?
Just in a pan and a bit of butter, and that's about it, really.
Beautiful. Absolutely, because I tell you what, there's so many people that boil it.
No.
And it's really, because you get beautiful, like, green water and then, like, sort of grey, boring spinach. So he's completely right. A little bit of olive oil, or a little bit of butter, or a little mixture of both. And, like, you can put some garlic in if you want, but it's quite nice, just plain and simple. Here we go. Yeah, so you can get, it looks like a lot of spinach, yeah? If you put that, that'll cook down for nothing. Pinch of salt and pepper. And a little bit of nutmeg. Just a little bit. Have you ever had nutmeg?
No, never.
It's all right, sort of, a little bit's nice. Too much, it tastes a bit funny, but a little bit's really good. Have you ever tried polenta?
No.
It's pretty weird stuff. English people normally have a bit of a problem with it, but they normally cook it really badly. So
What is it? Is it like semolina, is it? Yeah.
It is. It's made out of like maize,
Right.
and it's a classic sort of northern Italian thing. And they boil it with water, so it goes thick like porridge. And they put loads of butter in, salt and pepper, and they'll serve it with like just wet with like nice cheese over it, or truffles over it, or they'll pan-fried mushrooms over it, or they'll sort of they'll just have it with stews like mashed potato. So I mean, classically it goes with that really well. So. Here we go. When you do your spinach, do you ever put a little squeeze of lemon at the end?
No.
Ah.
Is that the secret, is it?
Well, just gives it a bit of an
My
edge.
spinach is always tasteless.
Is it?
Yeah, just because.
It's quite nice if you do it well. Yeah. So do you get lots of do you guys have to sort of go organic or anything like that, or?
We did for a bit, yeah.
A bit expensive, though, isn't it?
It was a bit, yeah.
Are all your ingredients organic?
Well, I'll try to, if possible. I think like when you work with food all the time, it's like you wearing a pair of rubbishy old football boots and expecting to perform well. I mean,
Is it better quality, do you reckon?
Yeah, well, you can get good and bad organic.
Yeah.
It's kind of
It
about...
works for you, innit, at the end of the day.
Yeah, it is. It's like, you know, knowing your commodities and, your, stuff like that. But I love it. I get all it. See, when I see a nice little bit of organic vegetables, I get all excited.
Whatever turns you on, Jamie.
Yeah.
So's his girlfriend.
Each their own.
No, I do, honestly. That's how you write your recipes, because you see something that you really love and you get all up for it. So,
Is it the key at the end then, the lemon?
that is the little bit of lemon. Got my blender. I'll show you how to carve the old chicken. Let's plate on these, shall we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and meat. There you go. Right, so the plenter, as I said, just like mashed potato. Like that. Be interesting to see if you like it, actually. Because English people have a bit of a problem getting used to it. Now, the chicken. Here we go. It's had a little rest, so it'll be nice and tender. Or it should be. Here we go. Who likes breast or legs?
I'm a breast man myself.
Yeah. You're all breast men?
you get more with legs.
You do, you do.
Oh, that just fell off.
Look at that. Actually, we'll have a little bit of spinach with that, just under.
That's lovely.
I cannot wait to eat that.
See what the Italians do? They just rip it off the bone like this.
Use the fingers, eh?
Yeah, they just rip it off with like tongs, and they just sort of pull every last scrap of meat off it that they can possibly find. Cool, look at that.
Oh, it's delicious.
Right, this is the good bit, right? Like, the whole idea of the lemon zest, right, is that it actually, see that is actually cheese. When you make cheese, it's just milk with lemon or vinegar put in it. And like, basically that's like your gravy, so you sort of, it looks a bit frumpy and a bit strange. Right, boys, you ready to eat? Right, that's my one. This one's yours.
I'll have a big one over here.
There you go,
I'll
mate.
get the smallest portion.
Take it, make sure you don't dribble your juice.
No. Be
That's
careful
the
not
last
to do
thing I have to do, dribble your juice.
All right, boys, so do you reckon you're going to be all right cooking that for the rest of the lads?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I love it.
So you won't need my help then?
Well, it would be nice.
Well, thanks very much for coming, and we'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.